Yo, what's going on guys, welcome back to the video. What if you guys, today is a brand new Division video. Today we'll be going over the new PTS week 3 patch notes for the Division. So if you guys do enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and let's get right into this. Before I start off, I just want to let you guys know that I'm probably not going to cover every single thing in these patch notes that is listed, but I will have a link to the article in the description below if you guys want to check out the patch notes for yourselves in more detail and stuff like that, and pretty much see all the different nerfs and buffs with your own eyes. So like I said, the link will be in the description below, feel free to go check it out. Anyways, getting back to the video, so the first thing I did was they globally decreased the damage of level 31 to level 33 NPCs by 15%, and also they globally decreased the armor of level 31 to level 33 LD NPCs by 17%. So right off the bat, we are hit with some really great news that the NPCs are getting nerfed a little bit more, which is obviously great because you're listening to the people, what they're saying and stuff like that, that the NPCs were a little bit too strong for us, so obviously they did change it up. Moving on next to the Reckless chest, they actually tweaked it a little bit, where damage received from the NPCs has been reduced from 50% down to 10%, so once again this is really great news because Reckless wasn't really worth using because you were receiving 15% more damage from the NPCs, but now since they kind of fixed it and you only receive 10% more damage, I can see a lot of people switching back and using this chest in PvP and stuff like that. Moving on next, one of the biggest changes actually happened to the Banshee gear set. So I'm not too sure if you guys were familiar with the 4-piece bonus previously. Pretty much allowed you to sprint a little bit quicker in the dark zone and stuff like that. Well, now they actually changed this to this. So it says, while rogue, all ammo is completely refilled every 30 seconds. Damage taken from non-rogue players reduced by 10%, while not rogue, damage to rogue players is increased by 10%, and obviously this is not new, this has been in the game. The thing they actually did change was no Dark Zone XP and currency is lost on death. Honestly, I don't see a lot of people really agreeing with this. Personally, I have no issue. I hate like losing currency. I hate losing XP when I die in the Dark Zone. So I kind of understand where they're coming from by, adding this into the game. But like I said, most people are not going to agree with this. Personally, I think it's a great addition to the gear set. Moving on down to some of the weapon changes. So first up, DPS calculation now values headshot damage differently for each weapon category to more accurately guide player when modding weapons. It's pretty much going to help you out when you're putting mods on all your weapons and stuff like that. It's going to show you a more accurate DPS. Also, the ammo capacity has been decreased by 25%. Now, I don't really see a big change to that because we already get so much bullets. And obviously, if you run out of bullets way too quick, you just switch to Lone Star, resupply, get a lot of ammo, switch back to your regular gear set, and boom, you have like 5,000 bullets on your character. Moving on next to the skills, the Ballistic Shield, Support Station, Smart Cover, Pulse, Seeker Mine, and Mobile Cover all got a bunch of different changes added to them. One of the biggest ones was the Ballistic Shield. Now I'm not too sure how many people actually use the Ballistic Shield. Personally, I have never used this. They pretty much added threat generation when the shield is deployed, also added threat generation when shooting while the shield is deployed, and also they nerfed some of the mods on the Ballistic Shield. It's not too big of a change. I don't think a lot of people are going to notice it, and even if they do, I don't think, like I said, a lot of people use the Ballistic Shield, so it's not really a big deal. Moving on down to the loot and rewards. So the first thing is open world NPCs will spawn every 4 hours instead of 24 hours as of right now. To be honest, it's not that big of a deal. I don't really understand why it took them 24 hours to respawn, but like I said, this change really doesn't matter that much. Moving on next, the mission bosses, underground bosses, and underground chests will now only have a chance to drop purples instead of high-end gear and gear set at normal difficulties in tier 1. But also hard difficulty and above in tier 1 as well as difficulties at higher tiers will now guarantee you high-end and gear set items. So these are pretty huge changes. Like I said, anything you do in the hard difficulty or above in tier 1, you are now guaranteed high-end items and gear set items. Next up, missions and incursions. Mid-bosses like the 4th Horseman and the Dragon's Nest incursion will no longer drop you purples with a chance of high-end gear or gear set items. Instead, now they will drop you 2 to 3 high-end crafting materials with a chance of high-end gear and gear set items. So once again, what that pretty much means is instead of getting purples, you are now going to be rewarded with crafting materials and have a chance to get high-end items or gear set items when you come across those mid-bosses. Last but not least, moving on to the vendors and crafting. First up, the Phoenix Shredder vendor has been removed from the tech wing in the base of operation. And the other thing is the Vision Tech has been removed as a requirement from all high-end and gear set blueprints. So now you pretty much won't need the Vision Tech to craft, high-end blueprints or gear set blueprints. But that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, the link to the patch notes will be in the description below if you want to check it out for yourselves. But besides that, thank you guys so much for watching once again. If If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.